23rd.
Yes. Yep, our microphones are on, by the way.
Are they on?
Just turn them on. Great.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
But we are not recording,
Oh, okay, that works.
just letting you know.
Okay,
Oh, like on for the Zoom.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay. Kurt, welcome back.
Thanks, Jim.
Is this your first meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, we have 2 agenda items today. Or tonight. One being an application for historic site review on the Oval. And one being a subdivision plan. So, Emily, did anything, I guess, starting with the historic
Yeah,
site?
a pickle there. We have not heard from SHPO yet. So, you'll notice that there's no SHPO letter or recommendation regarding the addition of the sidewalk and canopy over the top of it, the redo the building.
They're beyond the 30 days, and what did it say if you're beyond 30 days?
In that programmatic agreement.
Yeah,
Yeah, so there's been, Jim brought it to our attention that because this is on the Oval Historic District. There was a programmatic agreement between the United States Air Force, SHPO, and some other parties. And that document is dated 2001. Basically, that document says that any rehabilitation or construction of any kind needs to have SHPO recommendations along with the redevelopment corporations. Jim and I are kind of thinking they no longer even exist. No recent
This Jim?
application.
This Jim,
Okay.
Yes,
which we talked about, yes.
no recent applications on the Oval have, gone to them for any kind of comment.
I mean, we can
For-
really get people
for-
on the Oval to come in
For the
here.
development group or for SHPO?
For the Air Force Base redevelopment.
Oh, sure, yeah, okay.
So that document stated that if SHPO did not provide comments within 30 days, that. The interested body could make decisions without them.
Us.
You're right. So we were having that conversation earlier today and
Mhm.
chatting about, where we stand on that.
Can we give them, if we all agree, can we just give them conditional approval? And like if SHPO has comments, they incorporate it? Or no?
So I think the board has. It's up to the board, I would say, in that regard, after the 30 days, I would say before the 30 days, it's been pretty consistent that
Mhm.
we've held to getting SHPO's comment.
Yeah.
On the Oval. And I can say that we've even suggested some applicants do direct coordination
Yeah,
with SHPO, based on comments or to expedite
Mhm.
their response,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, especially because this isn't like a like for like replacement.
This one's unique. I mean, this one's
Mhm.
actually putting up a structure over the top of a sidewalk, which is something different.
Mhm.
Usually it's, repairing something not like for like. Or window replacement, not like for like, you know what I mean? It's something like that,
Yeah.
not a new sidewalk and structure.
What do they know? The applicant, do they know that?
So they know that SHPO has not responded.
Yeah.
And asked me today if the board would probably table it because of that, and I said yes, typically they do. And then they pretty much said that they probably weren't gonna come tonight. And I encouraged them to anyways, but I'm not sure if they will be here.
Okay.
So.
is that them on the Zoom, is that?
No,
Okay,
no, the
I don't-
representative is Aaron Diaz from RMS.
yes, okay.
And RMS. Aaron probably had one of the newer applications. I'm not sure if
I
anybody was on.
remember seeing him one of the last times, yeah.
He actually did renovation and window replacement to one of the brownstone areas right on the oval.
That house?
And went through application. I don't know if it was the house. I think it's the larger
Oh, the HOA.
apartment structure
Yeah.
right adjacent to that.
Okay.
So he'd been through the, you know,
Been through the process.
yeah, been through the SHPO review, actually did coordination directly with SHPO on that application.
Right.
So,
So is Oval Development LLC just a private entity that owns these buildings that leases to the, well, public?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Okay.
so they were the ones who bought the building after the
Yeah.
other was closed.
Okay. Oval Development.
So if they do come, what are we gonna do?
That's kind of the question, yeah.
ultimately, I would advise that they, you know, they can assist with planning staff to coordinate directly with SHPO.
Yeah.
Or allow planning staff to obtain comments from SHPO, and then we can coordinate the application and receive.
Do we know when the existing stairway canopy was installed?
There isn't.
I don't.
There is a little canopy they're saying they're gonna match.
Do you have any photos of those? You can pull up for us really quick? Sorry, so you got the presentation up.
I sort of understood it as the canopy at the back.
They're gonna like basically
Door.
attach, they're gonna create the same kind of steel structure and just extend it and wrap it like a big.
Yeah.
Okay,
But this is, I mean, that's not historic, that's, I just didn't know when that was.
Yeah.
Done.
Does SHPO have any kind of a track record of not responding, not giving comments back?
Yeah, it's-
And that then means
it's-
SHPO has
it's
no
like
comment?
attached To that.
I think they've always.
Always given no
Always
comment.
gotten.
yeah, or they'll say
They
like, this is in
this-
alignment with the
Yeah.
historical character,
Yeah.
is usually what they say.
I can't remember the last time.
Like, they
she
have
did
no
get back
issue.
to us.
Right, they say that.
Yeah,
There
they
is a
explicitly
signal.
say.
I
Yeah.
think they've generally been responsive.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So not hearing from them does not mean
I
no.
was gonna say.
No.
Since when you were last on the board,
Yeah.
we've actually received SHPO comment, like on the Port Street, Brinkerhoff.
Okay,
Those submissions have also gone to SHPO.
Okay.
And
always get a
garnered
comment.
comment,
Yeah.
yep,
Okay,
response back.
I mean, it's no uglier than the stairs or anything else kind of industrial add-on after the fact.
Mhm.
Sure.
When it doesn't alter the building, does it enhance the area, aesthetic of the area? Not necessarily.
I will
But-
say like, especially that this
I
picture
don't
is
know
like,
that context.
this picture is like from the ugliest part, but like, if you turned and looked this way, it's like, there's like an ugly garage, like, it's not like it's a cute parking lot to begin with, so I don't think the awning is going to like ruin the character of that lot.
Yeah.
There's already something, like that weird fence is already there.
how would you
so-
describe the character of that lot?
I would
That
describe the
little
character
bit
of
there.
that lot as filled with squirrels, and I usually avoid going near it because my dogs. It's a squirrel
So-
haven.
It's behind this building?
Yeah.
Yep.
The back of that area.
Yeah, like you see right there between those two buildings,
Mhm.
that's where it is.
Oh, let me just.
Like right in that little opening.
Hmm.
So it's like already just like
Oh,
a
yeah.
weird open area. And it's usually like, that's where the police park, like the cops that have to go to court and stuff, like that's where they all park their cars, so. Yeah,
And what's that building back behind, like a
I think it's,
warehousey type?
yeah, yeah.
So this, are we looking at where this handrail is? Is that like pedestrian access in more favorable weather, do we think?
Right. And this is
Okay,
their
there we go.
proposed
Thank you.
rendering,
Wonderful.
and there's not already a sidewalk there that they're
Okay.
getting
so
rid
they-
of.
Yeah.
sidewalk. Okay, so they would be adding a
You
sidewalk?
just can't see it
Yes.
right up ahead of it, so it's.
And Emily was saying that it's because they when they have to bring people in for court,
Yeah.
they wanna have like a more enclosed space to bring them into the building.
Stuff, sure.
Yeah. It's was that a loading dock area? Cause it doesn't load at me, I think it just filled with snow, must be like a loading.
Oh, that's what it is, okay.
Loading
So it
dock
goes-
ramp,
It
right?
goes down.
Yeah, there's like a little like, I think like some basement stairs that go down at the end of it too. Not
So
like at
it's
the end,
inside
but up
of
in
that,
the-
yeah, so it's set back, so it doesn't project past the side of the building. And then.
So SHPO's main concerns on the oval with roofs, cause Well, as a house over there, that they have dealt with this for too is, what is your existing, are you gonna match like the slate look for it?
Mhm.
But that would be for the permanent structures, this is more like this is a walkway, they've already got that existing condition there. So there have been times certainly where SHPO has, thinking of the house across from Campus Corner that they did, where they said, look, we understand that this roof is maybe not what was original here, but it's been here long enough. And. this is
Oh, that like
character.
porch thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the rebuilt porch, so maybe this is, within what they're looking for. Again, we can't speak for SHPO, but. I don't know what else SHPO would be reviewing for this.
Because is this a historic district?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it shouldn't just be about an individual building, but it's the character of all the appurtenances or whatever.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Not, and not to say that just because there's existing is the goal to like make future more historically compatible,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Should you be ignoring the industrial add-on precedent? And
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm not sure,
Yeah, that's a good point.
try and do better moving forward.
Yeah. Well, I guess we have to wait, see what SHPO.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know that we have a precedent in my memory of a project where they weighed in on like accessory stuff, like railings, fences.
The only other thing that I can think of that would be potentially similar to this would be
ADA
the
ramp in that one.
railroad station, the railroad platform.
Yeah. Oh, here.
Here, they did a site plan update, been working on it, there's like a cover
Mm.
Or certainly
scenario.
a more modern addition to that historic
Mhm.
building there.
That's the only thing I can think of that would be
You're right.
similar, where they.
And it's just a metal roof and steel like this. I think we asked that the concrete be stamped created to be more like the stone. And that the railing details and lighting details were a little more like historically. Similar to the kind of wrought iron or whatever was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to go back and look at those drawings too. I'd say that was maybe a little less utilitarian than this looks, like this, the rendering does look pretty,
Mhm.
I was gonna say that. Project was promoted by Amtrak, I believe, which
Right.
probably had its own federal.
Probably.
hoops to jump through in terms
Yeah.
of project,
right?
and I do remember that being a little more of an aesthetic
Mhm.
construction.
It's not corrugated.
Well, and too, with this building, it's like the people who want the awning are not the owners, I'm assuming. Like the city wants the awning
Sure.
to bring the people into
The owners wanna
court.
do it
Sure.
as cheap as possible.
Right.
I'm just
Mhm.
assuming that might be something they say.
Mhm.
But. The plans from text here.
The only thing I would wonder is. The rear roof of the stairs. Is when those were done.
This one, right? Yeah, when was that?
When was that done? Because those don't, is that truly the vintage of pre 1995?
It doesn't look 40 years old.
No, I don't think that is.
You know what I mean? Or was that? Facilitated through the city, it never really came through here or went to ship. I guess
The city court just passed it.
to Tom's point, the brown stairwell that came off the side that seemed to be like the exit from the third floor. looks more in the vintage of Air Force. And if you look at the roof sort of matches the roof of, it's.
Right.
I'm not gonna say it's any prettier, but. Painted brown to,
But it's this is shingle.
that's,
Mhm.
that was my point.
Yeah, I can't imagine SHPO's not gonna come back and say, paint those all brown like everything else on the oval.
I was thinking between color and roof style, those would be the things I would think that.
Yeah.
Shippo's gonna have some
Mhm.
advice on.
This staircase, I mean, you live over there, right?
Yeah.
Most of the stuff that's over there, when you look at the fire escapes, it's all painted brown.
Yeah.
And so most of what SHPO has been concerned about when we've seen it on the base is can you make it match the existing? And could you match, sort of the existing, roof? So you've got,
Look at this.
this is more like
angle
what
iron.
would have been there around
Yeah.
the Air Force time.
Yeah.
As opposed to this. So I'm guessing SHPO might say, okay, fine.
That was pretty
But
good.
asphalt shingles on there. Instead
A
of.
little rusted, but like.
The metal.
Instead of corrugated metal, paint thing brown.
So, again, this looks like an application that'll, we might not even have.
Yeah.
Representation, so.
Right.
The board wants to table this until we receive SHPO comments. Or
Yeah.
consider other discussion at the board meeting, that's fine. The second application we have on the agenda is for subdivision, minor lot. Line adjustments or.
It's confusing.
Alright,
Like they got in-ground pool and a cabana?
The yellow square is 15 West Court Street, the current proper land, power line. The yellow is 150 Broad. So they wanna create a new line here and join these two properties. So that their pool and patio are on this lot, because they're gonna sell this lot.
Oh, so they own both of these
Yes.
houses. But they want to keep that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks for the color coded. Yeah, that was very helpful.
Were there staff recommendation for the?
Subdivision?
Yep.
Approval.
Okay.
And they already went to the zoning.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm actually not 100% sure what the ZBA said about that.
We have a chance to look that up before the meeting starts.
Do they post their meeting minutes on this?
Yeah, because it says that they talked about the pool being in the front yard.
Where are you seeing that?
This comments 3 on the
Yeah.
application summary.
Oh, there's zoning. So does zoning not allow those things to be in front yard?
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
It'd be weird. I've seen people swimming in the front yard.
I mean, that's a hard spot though, because.
It's gotta be frontage.
Right, but if it's in that wedge between the two streets, so. If it's in the backyard of one, it's in the front yard of the other.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
Yep.
Do people? Would be pretty grand and stuff.
A building permit, I'm
I
assuming?
think you're supposed to get a building permit because it's gonna be like there's implementability. So if you. have a
your
small- I think so, yeah.
I feel like my mom had to get one even for her above ground.
I think you're supposed to.
I mean, it probably depends on the
You-
town.
We got one, yeah, I did a skip of like the lot line.
Yeah.
Said that.
So you have-
And our fence.
Yeah, fence, we ever do on the fence too.
Yes, as well.
Do we have to? Do we have to worry about, like, if this new line that they're gonna make, do they need screening now? Do they have to have screening for poles or no?
That's a good question.
I think you do. Doesn't have to, I don't think it has to be on the lot line. But but you need something around the wall, I think.
But that's mostly, is that for visibility or is that for? Like having a boundary around the wall for?
Well, I guess the pool is just there, but I was thinking more like, even for, I'm thinking of the one down on the bottom, I can't, I'm terrible with street names. Where they had remember they were doing the 4 little duplexes?
Yeah.
And we were like, you have to keep all the screening up for the
Not
other.
sure for the band. line.
Yeah,
Just make,
Yeah, I
just
think it's
about
about
a
something like
segment
that.
like this. Instead of the whole front yard. Like, why make the line here? Why not just make it?
oh, you mean all the way up to Broad?
Right, why not just cut out this wedge as opposed to the whole thing with the street address? Is this, because this is currently one big lot and they're making it smaller, or there are 2 lots here?
2 lots.
There already are 2, okay.
Emily, do you wanna go just real quick to the, do you have a photo of the 2 line lots?
So those are existing, all existing property lines?
This is existing for West Court Street,
Mhm.
and this is the Broad Street parcel.
So the line dividing the Broad Street parcel is a newly created.
Yes,
proposed
it's
line.
here.
Yeah. Okay.
But I see your question, like, why are they creating a lot that goes from one street to the other? rather
Which creates
than-
the issues with front yard, backyard and all that, as opposed to wedging, cutting out that back wedge and just making this lot smaller. I mean, then maybe there's still a variance of some sort.
I'm
No, because
wondering
they're already
if-
cutting all that away.
Wondering if it's too, maybe like, what is it, the covered surfaces, the percentage? That maybe they had to do that to me, because I don't know, I'm assuming the pool takes away from that.
Big backyard.
I don't know if it takes away from that. I would guess it does.
Was so do we have a copy of the ZBA that carried the variance?
No, there's not. one.
She's just this question, why didn't they just?
Sort of.
Yeah, she's like, why are
So-
they, because it creates this like
I would
front
say
yard,
that's one
backyard
thing.
issue, but
Yeah,
like this
yeah,
is
yeah.
just.
Go to
Yeah.
the-
I mean, this lot would just be.
Same thing with the
It'd
building.
be irregular
inspector.
no matter what.
I would expect that they would have, you know, you meet applicable, this proposal meets applicable zoning. It doesn't for this reason.
Okay.
And quite frankly, it should also,
Space of yard.
you know,
Yeah,
that's also,
right.
you know,
Well, and it
sketch
looks like
plan
Yeah.
first.
fence,
Yeah, I mean,
It
if
goes
it's
down
worth
there.
anything, we've been talking to
Like it's already
the building
fenced.
inspector's office about this project since it came in.
And you're thinking the table that shows, here's the requirement, here's where it's been met, things that we used to get in the past. Yeah.
Right,
Remember
yeah.
seeing those tables, you know what we're talking about? Where it would be like a table and it would say, here's the zoning requirement for setbacks and
Mhm.
side lots and those things, and then it would
Kind
say,
of here,
did it meet, did it not?
Minimum yard.
but I don't know which lot it's talking about. Total lot size
Mhm,
required,
mhm.
provided 1030, I don't know which that refers to.
So it's 6:01, we can.
Okay.
Start the meeting and we can further the discussion when we get. the application. We're all set, Emily? Perfect. We'll call the meeting to order for planning board, February 23rd, 2026. Can all rise for the pledge of allegiance? Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Jim Abdallah,
Yes.
Abby Musserher,
Yes.
Tom Cosgrove,
Yes.
Carly Leary.
Yeah.
Kurt Burbidge.
Yes.
Thank you. We do have, meeting minutes for the November 24th meeting. Was for review and acceptance, was there any comments or questions from that 24th meeting? And again, Kurt, I would expect that you weren't at that meeting.
That is correct.
Yeah. If everything looks okay, can I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from November 24th. 2025.
Second,
I'll second it.
roll call,
Jim Abdallah.
yes.
Abby Musserher.
Yes.
Tom Cosgrove,
Yes.
Carly Leary.
Yes.
Reading it, it reminded me, I'm wondering what the status is of one of them. With New Shippo. Yeah.
For now, okay. And then we also have the February 4th meeting, which was a special meeting. I was not in attendance and Kurt was not in attendance, so. We got 3 members here who were, and if there's any question, comments to that. If not, just need a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept.
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call.
Abby Musserher. Yes. Tom Cosgrove,
Yes.
Carly Leary.
Yes.
Thank you. And we do have 2 applications on the agenda tonight. Planning board application 26-01, which is a historic site review, 24 US Old Walkway in Winnipeg. Owner is Conroy Oval Development LLC. Plan preparer is Aaron Obius RMS.
So this application came in to construct a new sidewalk with a canopy covering the top from the existing rear parking area of the building. To the back door of the building to transport detainees for city court. Instead of trotting them through the basement entrance of that building. The parcel is zoned RC2, recreation and related uses. This is in the Oval Historic District and used to be the enlisted men's barracks, built in 1893. Here are some pictures of the existing structure that goes over the stairs to the back door where the proposed construction will lead to. And then this is a rendering of said structure with a cement sidewalk and gray structural steel are proposed for the materials. And staff recommends the planning board determine this to be a type 2 action under seeker. And I did not receive any comments from city departments. And we have not heard back from SHPO. That's all I have.
Okay. Aaron, you have,
Yeah, so quickly, if you have any questions, like, the first question obviously is without SHPO's response. Whether the board's comfortable moving forward, whether you want to. Able it to have information from them. Basically, I tell you, right now, painties are. Any kind of weather brought into the back of the building, right through the basement, walk through everybody, brought into the interior holding area. That rear staircase brings them right into that holding area, so the idea is that is the existing parking lot back of the building, that they would drop them off there. Walk to the sidewalk or bring them in, but obviously the cover, we match the existing just to, keep them up snow in the rain. It's not really attached to the building, so it's not like we're physically altering the building, so at some later date, if the building repurpose, very easily just be taken away, again, not interfere with historical character of the structure itself. So the owner wanted to basically just match what he had there now. It's actually a request by the city court to the landlords of the whole development. Looking to basically match what they had. So it is the back of the building, that ramp is actually a food shelf or. We get it right, but they basically back and start trailer in. They load all the food underneath and they bring it out.
So the ramp in the foreground that's kind of filled with snow right there in that picture, is that the ramp you're talking about?
So right here, just. So they bring the tractor trailer in, there's a door right here, so they actually bring the food in and then they load up the trucks and bring it out, so it's, it's definitely, the rear service area of the building, it's not. On the front, it's not along the oval, it's not really public view, it actually is a private roadway. Shared with 34 US Oval, which happens to be, so. Not really objecting to that, so it's pretty straightforward, just. Rather than debate this on edge, if if you're uncomfortable, I understand. And, if you want to table it, I respect your decision, and we can. Kind of move along there.
Do you know what year the existing
The staircase.
on the, not the side staircase, but the back entry there?
Yeah,
with the-
that was done. Right about the same time I was actually renovated, so right around 2000, or sorry, 2020. Okay, just.
2020,
before.
yeah, it seemed kind of new-ish,
Yeah,
but
it was COVID, so just before this happened. Okay. So, haven't been.
Okay.
Not that I don't know if that. Computer knowledge.
Yeah.
So,
Before 2020, has that area been the holding area for detainees, like when they come in, or is that?
and city court, ever since they left here,
Okay,
they.
95 or whatever. okay.
Yeah, you said the holding area, the judge said. Was just that bad, right? No, just that. They made it to the back. You're long enough.
so. Consistency wise, I would say that it would normally have been tabled and we would have SHPO comment. If there was other comments that Aaron wanted to, or the property owner wanted to coordinate with SHPO, depending on what they're asking for.
Or more than happy to reach out to them, can't force them to reply, they'll just copy my response to them.
Okay. Unless the board has another question.
yeah, I mean, I don't, in my time on the board, I don't think we've had a kind of site-based response from SHPO like this that we can speak to, use as precedent, so I think we really need their guidance on this one.
Yeah, we were talking in the pre-meeting and saying that, a similar one is the work going on over at the Amtrak station right now, where they have maybe like a historic building with a attachment going on to it that's a little more modern. We're expecting that maybe SHPO, typically when they work on the oval, cares a little bit more about materials, colors, roof colors, those kinds of things. And rather than have you put something up and have them take it down, get it right, that first go. So.
I mean, SHPO, right, is the advisory board, obviously, it's recommendations.
Sure.
And obviously, if you vary from them, it can pursue for funding, with all this next door, take effect, right, so it's obviously. Up to the landowner to decide. Obviously, it's your approval.
So with that said, if there's no other comment, do I have a motion? To table the application?
Make a motion to table the application.
No second.
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Jim Abdallah,
Yes.
Abby Musterhart,
Yes.
Tom Castro,
Yes.
Carla Larry,
Yes.
Kurt Goodrich.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks.
Second application tonight, planning board application 26-02. It's a subdivision, the project name is Chase subdivision. Owner applicant is Joel and Gary Chase. Plan preparer is Mark Petrusher. And Emily, you have a summary?
Yes, I do. This parcel is located in R1 residential, low density. Here we have the zoning table, but also this is again the West Court Street property and this is the 150 Broad property. Here are some street views of and aerial views of those properties with their accessory structures.
Which street is this on?
This is facing the Broad Street.
Is like their backyard.
It's already a hedge.
Yeah, in the
The price.
backyard and divided in that.
That's why.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Interesting. Okay.
The pictures definitely help.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, good. I recommend this as a type 2 action under seeker. And I did not receive any comments or responses from most of the city departments.
I feel like. Currently, if they were putting up a fence, I don't think a full height chain link. Fence would be able to go up as the front yard.
Hmm.
I mean, it's like pre-existing at this
Mhm,
point, but
mhm.
it's interesting, because like that. That doesn't feel like the front. Yard. It really is set up as.
So Joel, you have the
Good evening.
opportunity to present. You can sit there.
Okay, yeah, no.
No, doesn't he need the microphone?
Would you rather?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
just also
please.
for people
Good
watching.
evening.
Thanks.
So 10 years ago, we were able to purchase this, afraid it was gonna be student housing and the driveway was actually where the gate is. And we moved the driveway over to the other side and it was like, oh, wait a minute, this could be our backyard. And we hedged it in and made it semi-private, as private as it can be, when you face Broad Street. And here we are trying to move that piece of Broad Street onto the West Court Street property, keeping in accordance with zoning for Broad Street, and then West Court was already a non-conforming lot to add that. We're not looking to make a building lot out of the backyard or the side yard of Broad Street.
And when you say side yard, you mean the area behind the fences?
Behind that
And
black
hedges?
gate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna get attached to West Court and it's not a building.
Right. You know,
So is the house on the other street, you're saying that was the driveway, so it faces.
That was the driveway and the little white garage there with the 2 windows, that was their garage.
For Court
Front.
Street house?
Or Broad Street.
Oh, but okay, sorry, it's just because they're different colors, but that's because you guys owned it all.
We owned it all, and that was the zoning board was the accessory structure in the pool. With it going to so-called the backyard, was it in a front yard? So the zoning board approved it to have a pool
Mhm.
in the front yard with an accessory structure, but really they're behind the red house and the yellow house. Or behind the red house comes up on the yellow house a little. You can see it on the drawing.
Yeah,
yeah, I see that there.
but like you still technically have the White House still has front access on Court Street.
On West Court.
West
Yeah,
Court.
That is its front.
correct,
Okay.
correct.
So the zoning board did grant the variance.
Yep.
Okay.
Would you be able to pass that around to us?
Sure.
Yeah, let's see it. Oh, we have it.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Good, over here.
And Emily, you said that was sort of an process.
What?
Or discussions were in process with this building department in regards to this. They've been reviewing it, but
When it came in, we spoke with them and talked about it before Joel applied for the variance.
okay,
Yeah, they weren't sure if I needed a variance or not, they just, if we need variances, I'll go through the zoning and then come to you guys. That was decided, correct me if I'm wrong, right, I believe
Yep.
that's, yeah. Instead of being one step, it was gonna be two steps, that's,
okay. I believe. A couple application submissions ago, we did grant a sketch and minor subdivision approval in one. Albeit our zoning or our subdivision ordinance does prescribe it as a two-step process of submission of a sketch, review. You get comments and then you come back for the, after we've deemed it a minor subdivision, come back with a minor subdivision application. But again, this board did consider it in a one-step process
Yeah, we
on a
did.
past application.
Yeah, I can't remember who, but
Yep.
yeah.
So that, again, we have a variance in hand. Now, I guess I don't know if there's any other comments in regards to questions about the subdivision that the plat has presented.
What, you said that there was things being reviewed with the building department.
What other things was in discussion about the lot, just so we're not stepping on any toes or something where?
Just about the pool gonna be in the
Okay.
front yard. But other than that, they didn't have any problem with it.
Okay,
Is it considered the front yard just because? And sorry, you don't have to stand this entire time if you don't want. I mean, you're welcome to, but
I'll sit
is it considered? It's just considered the front yard just because the lot comes up to Broad Street now.
Right, so if you have a corner lot, your back lot is technically also a front lot.
And so, do they all have to get variances for
They
this
would
stuff
also,
too?
they would also have to give variances for those types of things as well.
Okay.
the other thing that's always did know was that the average lot width was. I think 62 feet, and by extending it. And narrowing it down to 55 feet at Broad Street, it reduces the average lot width down to 57.5, 58. It is, that was the zoning board to note that, in the, I think it's in the minutes.
The minutes.
The average lot width changed and advised me of that.
Okay. Should probably know this, but I'm hopeful that doesn't also require, if I assume they didn't advise you to get a
No,
variance for
it's
that
already a
as well.
non-conforming lot.
Right, that's what I assume, so, okay, good.
I would. Again. My thought again, it's up to the board in terms of, I think there's some conditions that you might put on this. Doing a sketch and a minor subdivision in one. But at a minimum, I think we should make sure that we get, sign off on the schedule of the bulk controls, the zoning. Have an official sign off from the building department that these, in writing with the application that this is complete. And in conformance with the zoning ordinance.
Yeah, I agree, I want, for the applicant's sake, certainly, you don't want to have it
Correct,
on
the,
a handshake.
the variance we got a copy of the variance tonight, but it wasn't in our packet initially.
Oh, okay.
There's meeting minutes that clarify
Okay.
more to this in
Yeah.
the zoning ordinance. I'd like to make sure it's in the notes. And then there is a schedule of bulk controls for zoning here, but I don't have any. Note of review by the
Oh.
building department or concurrence
Okay.
that these are complete. And make sure that's all in the file and then,
When. You sent an email that it was accepted and complete, does that cover that, or it's just that I submitted the perfect to the.
I preliminarily deem it as complete, but the board ultimately has to say it's complete.
Yep.
But as far as correspondences go with the building inspector's office, they haven't sent me anything regarding this application.
No problem.
I was gonna say on the application as far as the the staff report goes, we don't have any comments from any city departments. And we'll just get that and put it in the record, so then
Okay,
no question about it.
And I'm curious on this sheet, on our
Flat.
plat here, right? If the schedule of area and bulk controls where we have the required and the provided,
That's a,
which of the lots?
that is for the lot that's left, for the one,
That's the
that is a conforming lot that we're leaving.
yeah, with the red house.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So that applies to that, okay. And then I'm curious, I think what is here as the northwest corner of 150 Broad?
Yeah.
Of the corner of the house structure. Where the lot line is angling, that doesn't, that the setback is still met there.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
you're talking about if it was
Oh.
measured at an angle.
If you do a radius, it wouldn't be 10 feet.
Right. But I don't know what the setback is required to be.
Yeah.
the side yard setback
Yeah.
Yeah,
is 10.
is
feet.
10, yes. And where the lot line angles, it's hard to tell from this.
Because if you drew a line
Yeah,
to the shortest distance, it wouldn't be 10
like
feet.
10 feet. It's 10 feet here. I don't know if it's 10 feet here.
Actually,
If you drew a radius, that would be.
Yeah,
yeah,
but I'm assuming it thought that, is it at that angle because of the hedge or because of the garage?
The garage, and on the side of the garage, I store fire. Basically.
Yeah, that line should move over.
you,
Mhm.
Joel, you've explored this geometry of this
Oh,
lot
yeah.
line at times, and that seems to make the most sense.
Yes, that's, it works very nicely, and it leaves a conforming lot behind.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're trying to keep the 150 broad
Right.
conforming.
Conforming, because I can't, I would then look for
Yeah.
multiple variances for Westport and Broad Street.
Right.
And
So to
This-
have-
And the
to
west-
get non-conforming lots,
the West Core was already non-conforming.
61 feet wide.
Okay, it's always been non-conforming
Yeah.
and. Okay,
So one will be non-conforming instead of two.
Say it again,
One will be non-conforming instead of two.
it's an extension. of the-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, right, the existing.
yeah, because they're not, that portion gets attached to Westport.
Yeah.
Is the table referring, is this for the Broad Street parcel or the?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Broad Street.
Showing that it's. You're making it conform.
So within the final plat, these are the type of comments that you might offer as conditions, in terms of labeling,
Mhm.
anything to clarify the plat.
Yeah, what's the coverage percentage? What was it before and what is it? Like, I feel like, is there a missing value in the table here?
Which percentage, 25.
no, I was just.
But is that what
That's
was,
max.
When Jim is like.
Okay, yeah.
we gotta circle
what's
back.
provided?
So we're gonna have to-
That's the fee. This is then maximum building coverage percent, it says requirements would be 25%. Maximum would be 25%, so my question was what is.
So what is?
I don't know about. To know. But. Yeah, sure. Accessory.
Mhm.
I took your pen, so.
Oh, that's okay.
This
The pencil I brought.
new portion. Accessory structure.
Well, I think that's actually something that you kind of have to consider, because it's like, they might sell the property
Yeah.
one day, and it's like whoever gets it next, what are they going to do with it? Cause I was thinking about like, is this give them like access to make a driveway?
Right.
And is that allowed? Is that fine?
Mhm.
Not that maybe, but the
Right.
next owners might use this as like a back.
Entrance, yeah,
I don't know if that's fine.
especially if
How
this.
is the garage access, the garage that's now gonna become part of?
Through the West Court Street back here. There is no driveway.
There's no like driving to it, right?
Right.
Yeah, not,
On area all through.
Yeah,
well, we were just talking about,
Photo.
we were just talking about not, maybe not them, but you know, if somebody else owned the property, like would they
You
create
can see it.
a driveway there?
Sure, right.
And is that,
oh, there. Yeah, so it's not a vehicular garage anymore.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm really having trouble trying to discern who to take minutes from. because
So I just.
We're having multiple conversations and there's no real questions being posed to the applicant and I can't hardly hear him. So I just kind of for the record.
We'll go, so Barb, to be fair, we'll go one at a time.
Yeah, I mean, if
Side
all these other,
conversations.
it's really hard for me to keep track of what's going on here. Sorry.
Do you want me to repeat what I had asked?
Yeah, I don't think, did you hear it?
I had,
How is? the-
yeah, I had asked, how is the garage accessed? And then the applicant.
It's from the West Court Street property as shown in the
The westward,
West Court Street property.
West Street property.
There is no vehicle to it.
Thank you.
Other questions?
So I'm curious about. I don't even know how to ask this question. Potentially in the future, if the property owner sells the property. If where the fenced gated entrance is currently on if the potential for that to be turned into a driveway and what is currently the accessory structure, the renovated garage into an apartment under the new zoning code, and if that would be allowed. And if that is something that needs to be considered, or a new structure built on what would be the backyard of Chase
On the backyard
of West Court, yes.
Cause what we considered in the future, but I would have to come back to zoning for a variance we talked about a garage between the yellow house and the red house in the lawn area. In order to do that, I would have to get a variance for building coverage and, the front yard again. So that kind of, there's already provisions in
Yeah.
place to restrict that, or at least have.
Yeah, a check.
Not an automatic. building
Right,
permit.
there's a check.
Yeah,
And
and as far as the apartments, there is no permanent heat, there is no running water in that accessory structure.
right.
mm,
And in that conversation about needing a variance to do that, was that in relation to current zoning or the potential future
Current zone.
current zoning? Emily, do we know under what might be the future zoning code, what their restrictions would be? Or
I don't
no
know.
restrictions? Yeah, okay. I mean, we could consider a future zoning code now, so, yeah.
I would say that at this point, we can do our best, but that is on the applicant.
Yeah.
Whoever goes to build there, I don't think it'd be.
Yeah.
yeah, like they'd have to come back for a variance
Yes.
no matter what.
Yeah. It's a very narrow,
Similar to
yeah.
this, there's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what I've, based on discussion, the running list of items that I have here is number one, lot labels. I had you know, right now it's. I see Chase premises and Chase premises. It would be nice if Mark picks up that it, you know, it's like. Lot 1 with, you know, lot 2.
Or
In terms of the label though, I think he's got like, right now he's got lot 10 and lot 9 and then 15 Westport, 150 Broad, Chase premises, just something to consistently designate it from, this is the lot, this is how it ties to your bulk area control table.
Right,
You know what I mean? Just,
so to put on the, like, if he puts the bulk area control table for 150 Broad Street.
something like, yes,
And then if you want a second one, that it labeled West Court Street plus.
that was
additional lot.
my next bullet was the zoning table completion. So there's a couple items here missing in the
Yeah.
current. I was figuring if he gives, here's the city's zoning standards. Here's 15 West Court merged, what that looks like and how that complies to what's provided for the zoning standards, and then
It's already non-conforming. You still want to see.
it's still,
Okay.
and then from there, within the table, he can reference. This lot received a variance. Here's the variance
Yeah.
number,
Okay,
here's, you know what I mean, and it
Kind of like shows for work, so it's
It
like there,
show-
it's back.
shows it that it's complete, completes
Yeah.
the record for you, you're not chasing it
Yeah.
around. So,
Just a quick question.
yeah, go ahead.
So this lot is already non-conforming because it's too narrow. We're just adding on like another narrow strip. Does that non-conformingness like transfer over because we are creating like a new lot? Or just do they have to go then get another variance?
So the applicants already went and got a variance.
But I thought that was for the pool.
Well, there's other verbiage in the meeting minutes, which we don't have from the zoning board that clarifies some other things. We're just trying to codify that right
Got it.
now with comments in the
Got it.
map that just
Got it.
get it all there.
Got it.
So again, if zoning table completion, you know, where both new lots, you know, show how they comply with zoning or they don't, and then a
Mhm.
reference to the variance.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that the building inspector should review that and sign off on that overall zoning table that it complies, there's no variance issues or questions as it stands today. I think that addresses any questions we might have on the diagonal lot line and whether if you measure it from the corner of the house, you know what I mean? We've documented that zoning does not see a variance issue with that. I think there's already a condition in here about the Chamberlain signing off on before any final plot is signed. I think that's the Chamberlain's note that signs
Yeah.
off
It's in the resolution.
in the resolution. And then the other note I would say, although it implies it here, is that there's a requirement of lot merger. Is that it says here that there's a transfer and merge of remaining lands, you know what I mean, that those are actually combined. I mean, the tie implies it, but we've had a note in the past that that's a requirement.
well, once, hopefully this is approved, I intend to have both deeds re-recorded.
Yeah.
And filed, and,
And that usually is a condition that
Yeah.
we just get a copy of that and it
Okay.
goes in the file.
yep,
That's what I had for a general bullet list of what has been discussed. Barb, was there any clarifications that you needed for that, or?
I'm gonna wait till I can hear the tape to try to put it into words, unless you can put it into motion.
I can give
You
you
got it,
notes
okay,
too
yeah.
here if you want.
Yeah, if you can restate it in a motion, that'd be great. Otherwise, I'll try to find it from the recording.
Okay, and whoever is gonna, and again, the other consideration here is that this is a sketch minor lot subdivision approval in one. We're designating this, the plan as a minor subdivision, and we're moving it to conditional approval, if the board so chooses.
Can you, or Emily, can you remind me of the criteria that separate a minor from a major subdivision?
I think major is 4 or more plots, 4 or more parcels.
And then underneath the subdivision ordinance, you know, the sketch is what designates it as a minor or a major.
Okay.
After the board makes that determination, and comments, typically the applicant takes that and comes back
Okay.
for a second, you know, makes official application for minor subdivision
yeah.
approval.
Yep.
We're saying that can occur in one.
Two-step and we can do it in one.
In one.
And then the conditional approval is. Technically, it may get approved now, but technically, I have to get all those requirements. Submitted to Emily and Joe's office.
Correct.
Okay.
And if you make it through that, you're good. You don't come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Zoning code combined sketch and final, or is it always intended to be
It-
distinct?
No, it does new things, you know, like if the new ordinance, the new proposed subdivision.
Yeah,
ordinance
proposed.
Starts to consider lot line adjustments.
Right.
and-
As more of a streamlined, not multi-meeting process
Correct,
Right.
correct. But we do not have that
in
today.
place, right?
So,
So I have a question, this is conditional based on the notes and. Once the. Bulk table is completed and zoning, look at it and all the departments, if they have any concerns. And something has to change, does it come back to us for reapproval? Okay,
I
so
would
we're
say-
basically, we're saying it's conditionally approved, meaning that. If it then passes by everyone else. When it's kind of round 2, then they don't have to come back to us.
correct.
And did we meet the public hearing requirements?
Has this been?
The resolution says whereas a public hearing for said subdivision was held February 23rd today, so we would need to open a public hearing. In order to
Yes.
meet that, but we've listed it.
So we've listed it in our agenda. It's been advertised as such.
Okay.
Okay, so we can account, yes.
Yeah.
We can-
Usually highly attended.
Yes.
Any other comments, questions? If not, we can go down through the agenda, we have a couple proposed resolutions. We have a public hearing, we can get through those steps if we're done discussion here.
I'm all set.
I'm all set.
Okay. So with that said, we do have a proposed seeker resolution. Sure I got the right number, 2026-02A. And again, the recommendation is to deem this, staff has found this to be a type 2 action, which would require no further review under seeker. So that's acceptable to the board. I have a motion for resolution,
We need, do we need a motion just on the seeker?
just on the seeker right now. And again, you have a draft resolution unless you find something different.
Yeah.
Move the resolution. Without a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept the seeker classification resolution 2026-02A.
Okay, do you have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Jim Abdallah,
Yes.
Abby Musser,
Yes,
Tom Costco,
Yes.
Carly Leary,
Yes.
Kurt Burbidge.
Yes.
no, she had the same language, no,
You.
this section that says.
Um. And then we do have it noticed, was advertised for public hearing, so I'll move to open for public hearing. Any comment? Anybody on Zoom?
No.
No. Okay, so with no further comment, public hearing, I'll move to close the public hearing. And then we do have a proposed resolution 2026-02B. Again, this resolution is in regards to minor subdivision detailed plan review, which we've discussed a number of conditions to add to this resolution. But we're again looking at this as the final approval of a minor subdivision plat, with conditions.
Yeah, can we run, unless you look like you might have a good list of them.
I was taking some notes. I guess I was
Let's see if we
wondering
wanna-
what's easier for you and for Barb to try to figure out. Is it best to read all of the conditions so you have them?
Technically, a motion should be clearly stated with all the conditions.
I thought so.
Yeah, so I don't have
Sure.
to, thank you so much.
Okay. I'm just gonna compare my notes. Just give me 1 second.
Mhm.
All right, that matches what I had. Okay, let me give this a shot. I'm gonna make a motion to accept resolution 2026-02B. Once the following conditions are met. We're gonna ask that lot labels be adjusted on the plat to refer to both properties by their street name and address rather than the applicant premises name. We're looking to get zoning table comparisons added to the plat as well, showing that they meet all zoning requirements for both lots. Thank you.
With the labels.
With the appropriate labels, thank you. We are looking to include the variance reference as well, so if that can be included by the applicant as well as staff, that would be best. We're looking to ensure that there is sign off from the Chamberlain in the resolution. And we are looking to ensure that the city building inspector's office has signed off on both lots, specifically around the zoning tables and any other conditions that the city building inspector notes need to be met. We're also looking for the last one to ensure that the required lot merge note has been added to the plat, which will then be added to the file after the deeds have been re-recorded. Okay.
You also get a copy of this in the meeting minutes stuff.
No, I'm.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Take all the notes you want.
That's your motion.
That's my motion. I stand by it.
Thank you.
Barb, was there any clarification you wanted, or you?
No, that's good, and that'll be in the meeting minutes, Joel, and you'll get a copy of those, so it'll be clearly,
Thank you.
yeah.
So, we have a motion on the floor for the resolution with conditions,
Seconded?
Addie,
second by Abby. Roll call.
Jim Abdallah,
Yes.
Abby Musser,
Yes.
Tom Cosgrove,
Yes.
Carly Leary.
Yes.
Kurt Gervich.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hopefully I'm giving you too much to do.
Yeah. Okay,
Which, does that mean it's going sketch to the next stage? Was that?
Combined sketch.
Combined.
Yeah, it is combined.
it's combined into one conditional approval.
If he does that, we never see him again.
Thank you.
See you, Joel.
I guess we had an other business bylaws acknowledgement for 2026.
Yep, I. One. A copy of that to sign.
Or am I on these ones?
Yep,
So this is.
those are
Everybody,
the current bylaws as they stand. I thought maybe if folks wanted to review them, there is some verbiage in there about online attendance for board members that I think it would be handy to review. I've been kind of mulling it over and I wanted to discuss if before things that any updates would be needed through the bylaws.
any suggested updates that you were looking at the moment?
I wanted to clarify, the requirement for the attendance via Zoom and the voting of the board.
So the last time that I remember that we looked at these bylaws. Many of them were drafted and written around the COVID timeframe because we didn't have real.
Yeah.
Kurt, I don't remember, you might have even
Yeah, we were,
been here.
yeah, we spent a long time on that.
And that's where a lot of these were developed. Again, doesn't hurt, let's, approaching 5 years plus. Doesn't hurt to review and re-clarify.
I mean, I'll say we don't enforce some of this. Applicants must participate with video and audio. We don't usually make them turn on the video.
Talking applicants, not planning board members.
Yeah, like when the applicants call, like we've had applicants call in, we don't usually see their faces.
So I don't know if we've done that. I can't recall the last one. You're probably right. The last one was just an audio.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that a majority of those that came like during COVID, those were full video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Well, and this
I'm
is,
saying we need to see their faces. I don't
You just know
particularly
that-
care. I just, yeah.
and I guess this is not for is this for applicants or is this for the planning board members, is my
I
understanding?
think it says both.
It says
Yeah.
both
Both.
applicants
Okay.
and members of the public may also participate in video.
Got it, okay.
Yep.
I think that the norms around video being on changed. There was a time in COVID where it was like everybody should have their videos on, though I think that has changed dramatically.
Thank
And the general like norm now is
Sure.
it doesn't matter. And there are many reasons that people keep them off.
Mm-hmm.
The only question I would have is.
Real,
Is confirmation that
Right,
the,
that
that the applicant's representative, is. Actually who were.
It's who they say,
Who
yeah.
they say they are. I mean, we.
Yes.
I mean, I don't even know when they come in person though.
Well, we've still, we have held though, like. Applicants, like if they need an affidavit, if they're, they don't own the property.
Right.
Technically, the consultant even in the past would need the affidavit to represent
Represent the owner.
the owner.
Sure.
Yep.
We have still held to where applicants need to have a representative or someone here. For us to entertain an application.
Hmm.
So I guess in a video conference setting, you know what I mean? Should we see, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's presenting?
Yeah.
Who's-
I'm on Zoom meetings all day, every day. Most of them are not on video either, but I think probably for something like this, I'm in agreement that you probably want to be able to see a face or at least have a record that we asked to see somebody's face if possible, if they're not able to join. Certainly, I think there is a note in here about technical difficulties preventing that. It would still be considered valid.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I think if everybody's reading that the same way, that last section of that on the top of page 3, small part.
Yeah, I think we should leave in that sentence at least, because I'd like to be understanding of people who are trying to, you know, they just own their house and it just happens to be a historical house and they've got kids at home they're trying to call in or whatever.
Yeah, or we've had people who've said, I'm sick, I can't get to the meeting, but can I join on Zoom? So that way my application moves forward to be able to do that. So I understand those. I appreciate the note that it says, you know, must comply with open meetings law, and that should hopefully keep us, you know, broadly within what we need.
The other thing I would say is that if there is changes that are proposed, you know, we had a pretty broad review by legal counsel for this at the time, you know what I mean? So
Right.
adhere with COVID restrictions, or COVID guidance at the state level. I would recommend, again, if we were to, you know, consider taking out the video component, that it be back in front of legal counsel and what their thoughts are about an applicant presenting under only an audio scenario.
Yeah.
There were at the time, I don't know if open meetings law has changed.
Exactly.
Yeah, at the time it required, if you were a board member and you were video conferencing in, that had to be listed in the advertisement of the meeting. And the address of where you would be had to be listed.
It's gotten less strict now.
Yeah, I don't know. And if you were an applicant, it had to, I think had to be listed that the applicant would be video conferencing and their address had to be listed.
In the meeting minutes or?
In the advertisement of the meeting.
So now that I'm thinking about this, Emily,
Yeah, I
it
don't know.
probably makes sense for legal counsel to re-review our bylaws now. I mean, I'm pretty confident that the state has reverted back in some of their open meeting regulations compared to when this was done. And I think that prior to this, if you were to do anything where an applicant or where a board member was going to be part of the proceeding, you had to, like, the public notice had to say where that was gonna be, where that person.
I had to do that. I remember having to do that.
Publish my condo address.
Yeah.
At Disney World.
But I think some of that relief was given during COVID where you didn't quite have all that same.
Yeah.
So it probably makes sense to have this
So
re-review.
would the zoning board and any other board also, I mean, would this be another conversation that they're having at the same time as they do their bylaws and as? It's the same
So
question?
by my understanding, this is the planning board's bylaw.
Right, but wouldn't zoning board be having the same conversation right now and?
I don't even know
questions?
I don't know what they've done. They have a separate set of bylaws if they have bylaws.
It seems like for something like, it seems like there are things where our own bylaws for planning board might apply, but it seems like something as general as,
Open meetings law. and-
yeah, and can you video conference, and that process should be done at the city level.
Yes.
So that,
it's well,
yeah, so that the public knows what those rules are for all the boards.
That's what I was.
And whether or not the common council actually has a local law that says something like that, that's been adopted since these bylaws.
I think
Yeah.
Emily could speak to that.
I was on a webinar recently that talked about attendance specifically of board members and quorums. And I have some concerns about us not being in compliance with voting. Meeting quorums, you can't. One of the things that I wanted to make sure that we follow is, you know, we're not meeting our quorum via having someone attend online. We have to have an in-person quorum, and then anyone additional to that can be online.
That's what the webinar said that you went to recently.
Right.
Yeah,
Right, and that is written in there.
written in where?
I believe that
In here.
is in our bylaws.
The
Currently.
quorum has to be met in person.
Right.
Oh, so long as an in-person quorum is present.
Yeah, but that's only if you're having technical difficulties. So that's a condition only if you have technical difficulties. I don't know.
Unless permitted by the open meetings law, a quorum of members may not appear remotely.
So that's, I think, yeah, so that's the part that's in there, and so we're saying maybe that's something worth a review. Since It's been sincere since COVID, and maybe it's changed or maybe not. You're giving us some guidance that maybe it's not changed, but maybe if we're all reviewing these across all the different boards at once, maybe just iron it out, and if it's unchanged and it's the same, great, and we're all in order, great. Is that kind of what we're thinking?
I was gonna say, I don't think that last sentence is a little vague to me.
Right.
Unless permitted by open meetings law, a quorum of members may not appear remotely. It doesn't say that a quorum of members can't be obtained by 2 members on site and 1
Right.
Yeah.
remote.
And is a quorum for us 3?
3.
Yeah,
Right.
just read
I
that.
interpret it the way you interpret it.
Okay. Again,
Like 1 person could be here in person, 2 remote.
Yeah. And
Right.
that would mean it. Yeah. It's just that 3 can't be remote.
you can't, you can't have a purely remote meeting where 3 of us are in our house somewhere and we all pull a quorum together with a video.
Now we're thinking like lawyers.
That's the way but either way, I think that it's timing to review this, to
Yeah.
make sure we're in compliance. Make sure staff is concerned about our compliance, so.
And do you don't deal with the ZBA? Like you don't oversee them in this way?
No.
It would be nice if the rules for the applicants were the same.
I agree.
That would just make it easier for them we don't want people being like, hey, ZBA lets me zoom in, but you guys don't. Like, it would be
Yeah.
nice if those were
Yeah.
consistent. Yeah.
And quite frankly, again, the common council has to have their own rules. I would think there might be some consistency that trickles on down through.
Yeah, so the Common Council, updated their bylaws so that during COVID they could zoom on, but that is no longer the case. They all have to be in person.
Common council, right?
What are you, so,
Yeah, but they're getting paid and we
I
aren't.
was just gonna say, my statement about following the common council permissions.
What city staff coordinates with the zoning department, the zoning board? Is there a zoning staff, the building department?
Kyle and Joe's.
Okay,
office.
so it'd be a matter of coordinating with them on these files,
Well,
not us.
we don't have to, I mean, these are.
So if we're talking about though, just having like coordinated expectations as it relates to like an applicant. I
Yeah,
was just wondering who, she said, Emily said she doesn't, manage the zoning board, so that's why I asked who does, so it's.
Would you feel comfortable putting your heads together with the building department people on that?
Awesome.
Just to say, hey, do you guys have a set of bylaws and
Yeah.
they're next to each
I'm
other?
almost certain they do.
Yeah, I'm sure they would.
Yeah. It should be,
and then quite frankly, I mean, you just had a special application that I think. A special meeting that actually only was allowed to go forward based on video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you called them. Yeah, yeah.
To the benefit of an applicant? Does the board want that, or do you want what the common council has? All members have to show up in the form.
My preference would be to allow
yeah,
video conferencing.
I agree.
Okay.
If the opens meeting laws allowed it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just throwing it out there, though, we were talking about like, at least I was talking about the city having a common policy, that is.
Right.
To be a different policy than what.
Yes.
The zoning board
Sure.
is more of our sister
Yeah.
board.
Yep.
The common council.
Yeah, if they start paying me $15,000, I'll make sure I'm here every month.
The only other thing I would say is whether the common council has a local law that maybe also doesn't allow this in.
Right.
Sure.
Again, the common council appoints us. Maybe they, within their law, set those rules for them as well as
I
any.
don't believe so. I
They did
talked
it.
to Beth about it and. My understanding is that these supersede. The council, and I don't
Okay.
think they make any decisions on our bylaws.
Okay.
Cause I asked her the question, about video conferencing at the council, and she told me, oh yeah, during COVID, we allowed it, but then we changed it, so we don't. But, that doesn't affect our ability to do so.
Now, with that said, do they allow? Do they allow video conferencing of? Public
Comment?
comment to the council?
I thought
They do not have video running during council meetings.
So the only other thing to consider is whether, are we on the council's? Um.
We say they don't have video running. They don't.
There's no PowerPoint. On
Right,
the
but I get-
screen where you would be able to see.
But is it? I believe
It's only live stream.
It's live stream, right? But so you could comment on the live stream,
Okay,
but you can't join via Zoom essentially to comment.
I don't believe there's any ability to type in a comment
Okay.
during the live stream.
Well, there you go.
I think in the end,
That's good for them.
it makes
No.
sense again to bring this back to. Legal counsel for the city. Make sure we're in line with, you can coordinate with zoning board too, but make sure we're in line with our other companion board. In terms of standards, same thing that the common council is. Doesn't have anything that changes our. Abilities.
Mhm.
And again, same thing, the only other thing is, technically speaking, I guess. We would want to make sure that we have the capabilities that the common council provides us, like we live stream on their account. If they, for some reason, changed that and we didn't have the ability, well, we would have to change our bylaws.
Mm,
Just,
mhm.
it's a, top down coordination. Yes. Okay. Any other thoughts on this, or?
The only other thing I was thinking of, and I don't know if this needs to go in the bylaws or just needs to be maybe like a common practice, if we try to do this. We have had a few recently, it didn't happen tonight, where there was somebody who was maybe not expected to show up in person. Is it okay for us to rearrange the agenda items for the benefit of the people who are in person first, if there is no applicant in front of us? So for example, if the first application, no one was online or no one was in front of us in person, can we change the agenda to say item 2 is here now, item 1 is allowed us to consider it without their participation in person or online? Is there anything that prevents us from doing that, or just I don't feel like that needs to be codified. I don't know if that's Robert's Rules of Order, but
Currently,
Yeah.
under current procedure, that first application, if
Right.
nobody showed up,
yeah.
we would either table it
Mhm.
or deem it incomplete.
Right. I think there was a recent applicant who said they were not able to join the meeting, but they wanted it to be considered. I think we ended up tabling it anyways, but they were okay with it being considered without all of the information there. If we chose to do that, I think the board chose to table it because we had some questions, we wanted the applicant to answer.
So and the applicant wasn't here?
Right, they weren't in person, and I think they were trying to join online and they didn't for whatever reason, and I think we just tabled it because we didn't have all the information. But if that was to occur, do we go through the entire agenda item for that piece of business? Or could we say, we're gonna go to item 2 because item 2 is here in person? I don't know if that's bylaws, I'm just looking at procedures and thinking if that belongs there.
Are you
That's just-
suggesting if they were then to join later, then we would untable it?
No, nothing like that, but I'm just saying, if there's two items on the agenda, one shoots up, one does not, can we go, all right, we're gonna do item 2 before item 1, or is that
'Cause
violate?
they're sitting right here.
Right, as a courtesy to that person and to try to make their interaction as positive as possible.
Typically, no other boards I've been in front of.
Yeah.
That you like to make that determination right up front.
Okay,
You know what I mean? When you walk in, you're about to open up the agenda. If you want to reorganize the agenda to where, the last applicant's gonna go first.
Yeah.
Let's say you have more than 2.
sure.
Then. Make that note to the people in attendance and the applicants in attendance. If there's pushback, well, then the board has something to decide.
Perfect. Okay, so it doesn't need to go in the bylaws. I was just reading some of those things and
I have a question. In the event fewer than 5 planning board members are eligible to vote at a meeting, the applicant should provide an upload table of application. So if we don't have. If Kurt weren't here, we didn't have an alternate here, I thought it's just if we didn't have a quorum, which was 3, but it's if we don't have a full board.
Because if we don't have a quorum, we can't vote at all.
So
Right.
typically, if there's a position where an application is being presented, less than 5
Five.
members. Usually give the applicant
Yeah.
right at the beginning, before anything's presented, the option, hey, we'll have 4 members, are you
Yeah.
comfortable with proceeding? With the intent that if the application was voted on, technically speaking, if the application was voted on and voted 2-2,
Mhm,
done, didn't pass.
Right,
Right, ties and he'll go.
It ties a no-go, and then it puts the applicant in the position that their application was denied,
right.
and. You have to figure out how to resubmit an application or. Again, it's.
So I'm just saying that so you wouldn't necessarily approve these or sign on these today if we want to vet them a little bit yet?
I don't think there's no reason that you need these right
Well,
now, or.
just because it's a new year, I saw that. In previous years, at the start of the new year, the board, especially because we have a new member and. Was expecting a new alternate, that everyone agreed to the bylaws that they stand.
I was gonna say, at this point, they are the bylaws until we amend them. So we can all sign that we've received a copy and
Right, so
then
these aren't amended, these are still the same bylaws we've been signing since 2022.
these are the same ones, so.
But we just came up in discussion that maybe we should review them and there may be a forthcoming amendment,
So.
in
Correct,
which case we'd sign a new one.
correct.
Okay.
So if everybody, we're signing that we've received them,
Mhm.
then we're recommending, Emily, that these get re-reviewed with. City attorney. And we may bring these, members may bring back further comment, questions.
Do we need to or want to know what we want the council to look at, or just like legal counsel is just gonna look at all?
I think we have to review the whole thing.
Yeah.
Emily, any other items or any other things with bylaws?
No,
Any other business?
no,
If not, can I get a motion to? Go, Cliff.
I'll make a motion to call it quits.
All in favor?
I
Aye.
Thank you. Barb, thanks for keeping